What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we're going to be going over Michigan's top 5 most impactful transfer portal additions for this upcoming season, as the Wolverines landed multiple transfers, 15 of them to be exact, to not only fill needs for this team heading into next season, but also add some playmakers. Gonna be going over my top 5 most impactful transfer portal additions for the Wolverines and some honorable mentions at the end of the video. Now, before we do go ahead and get into this video, I did want to quickly mention my new YouTube channel called Sports Talk Central. We're trying to build that channel up. We got 3 videos posted and more to come, so if you guys want more sports content, go ahead, subscribe to that channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Link is down below in the description, so go ahead, check it out. I would appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get right into it here, and we'll first start out with the number 1 most impactful transfer portal addition, and that is the Indiana wide receiver Donaven McCulley. And I think we all know why he comes in at number 1, because Michigan's wide receiver room struggled mightily last season. They were one of the worst wide receiver rooms we've seen at Michigan. Now, obviously, some of it had to do with the quarterback play, but it is quite unacceptable when your best receiver is a tight end, and that was Colston Loveland last season, and he was by far Michigan's top target. It was not even close. So Donaven McCulley comes in at number 1. He is going to be the most impactful transfer portal addition for the Wolverines, a 6'5", 203-pound wide receiver, and a wide receiver that can go up and catch 50-50 balls, which is something Michigan has been missing out on recently. Now, McCulley didn't really play too much in the 2024 season with Indiana. He cut it short and entered the portal early in that season, but he had a breakout season in 2023 with 48 receptions, 644 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And even people from Indiana have said that at times Donaven McCulley can be unguardable, and there's no doubt he has a chance to be Michigan's top receiver next season. Also has a chance to potentially be a 1,000-yard receiver, especially with the new offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey wanting to have more explosive plays, and Michigan's gonna take more deep shots, especially with Bryce Underwood's arm, if indeed Bryce Underwood is the starting quarterback for Michigan. And not to mention, we already saw Donaven McCulley on display, his talents on display in the spring game, as he went up and caught a ball from Jaden Davis early in the spring game. And all I can say is I'm sure there is going to be much more where that came from Donaven McCulley going into this upcoming season. So he comes in at number 1, the most impactful player and most impactful transfer portal addition for the Wolverines. But coming in at the number 2 spot, I had to go with running back Justice Haynes from Alabama. When we're talking most impactful, Justice Haynes definitely going to be at the top. Right now, I would give him with a slight edge to be Michigan's running back 1. Obviously, they also got Jordan Marshall, who is also going to be in that backfield a ton. They're both going to get their carries, and it's basically running back 1A and running back 1B for the Wolverines this upcoming season with Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall. But Justice Haynes, a 5'11", 210-pound running back from Alabama, had 79 carries, 448 yards, and 7 touchdowns this past season, and now he's got a chance to play an even bigger role here at Michigan. We also already saw Justice Haynes' talents on display in the spring game. He had, I believe, only 6 carries for 51 yards, but he also had a 26-yard run that really stood out. And for the amount of time he played in that game, he had some really nice runs. So Justice Haynes comes in at the number 2 spot. That 1-2 punch between Haynes and Jordan Marshall is going to be awesome to watch. Absolutely cannot wait for that. And Justice Haynes was a big-time pickup for the Wolverines in the transfer portal. He was one of the top running backs in the transfer portal. So he comes in at number 2. And then number 3, I'm going with Arkansas safety TJ Metcalf as the 6'1" junior to be defensive back and safety. Comes from Arkansas, most likely going to be a starter with Michigan and potentially with Rod Moore as long as he is all healthy and ready to go. And obviously he's going to be another very impactful transfer portal addition, as he should be a starter for the Wolverines. This past season he had 56 total tackles, including 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions and 7 pass deflections with Arkansas. He was one of their bright spots this past season. He also obviously joined his brother, sophomore defensive back Tevis Metcalf from Arkansas, as they both transferred to Michigan. And all of a sudden, Michigan's secondary, they got quite a bit of depth, especially at the safety position now. And TJ Metcalf and Rod Moore going to be one of the best safety duos in college football. They are both ball hawks, so can't wait to see them. So TJ Metcalf comes in at the number 3 spot, and then coming in at the number 4 spot, I'm staying on the defensive side, and I'm going with defensive tackle Tre Williams. He's a 6'2", 315-pound defensive lineman from Clemson, and the reason I put him at the number 4 spot is because it does seem like he could be a starter on the defensive line for the Wolverines, along with obviously Rayshawn Benny, and then on the edges we got Derek Moore and TJ Guy. Now Damon Payne, the transfer from Alabama, is also going to be in the mix there as well, but Tre Williams is a big boy, and we all know from the 2023 Michigan National Championship season that depth on the defensive line is crucial to be able to rotate healthy bodies. Michigan has that on the defensive line going into this upcoming season, and Tre Williams was a big-time pickup for the Wolverines. This past season with Clemson, he had 14 total tackles, including 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 pass deflections. But this is just a big body that goes in the middle that is going to be tough to run the ball against. And obviously Michigan replacing Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, picking up Tre Williams again was crucial, just like it was picking up Damon Payne. But Tre Williams, I think, is going to have a big impact for the Wolverines on the defensive line, so that's why I put him there. And then coming in at the 5th spot, this was a big toss-up between 3 players. The 3 players I was going to decide between are first punter Luke Bauer from Missouri, and then also quarterback Mikey Keene. But at the 5th spot, I decided to put offensive lineman Brady Norton. This is a guy that comes from Cal Poly, played at the FCS level. He started 11 games at left tackle, and that's why he comes in at the number 5 spot, because he is in contention for that left tackle starting position. He's also going up against Evan Link. Now, the only thing with Brady Norton is his size. There's a lot of people that didn't think he could potentially start for the Wolverines this upcoming season. Instead, would be a depth piece and, needed some time to develop because of his size. He was listed at 6'3", 275 pounds, but that seems to be outdated as he was up to 295 last December. But he said recently that I'm definitely gaining a little bit more weight, and that they say I'm 6'3", 275, but I'm not 6'3", 275. He said I'm 6'4.5" and around 315 right now. So that is absolutely big news for the Wolverines. Another reason I ultimately put him at the 5th spot is just because, depth on the offensive line is crucial. Again, just like it is on the defensive line, rotating in fresh bodies and having 7-8 guys that can step in on the offensive line and perform. That is, again, why Michigan won the national championship in 2023, because of the trenches. They were dominant in the trenches. So that's why I put him as the 5th spot, and I did leave out Mikey Keene, but he is obviously in the honorable mention, right behind the top 5 most impactful transfer portal additions for the Wolverines. I mainly didn't put him in there because right now it does seem like Bryce Underwood could be the starter come week 1, and obviously he's also been dealing with an injury, but that's another player that adds much needed depth obviously to the quarterback room, and also can compete still for that starting job for the Wolverines. And also the punter Luke Bauer from Missouri, he's going to be a big time addition for the Wolverines, going to be another impactful transfer, should be Michigan's starting punter next season. And then another honorable mention is Damon Payne, the defensive lineman from Alabama, going to be another key piece on the defensive lineman and a nice rotational piece for the Wolverines. So that is my top 5 list and most impactful transfer portal additions for Michigan football this season. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of my list, and if you agree, what you disagree with. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.